Hi you guys, I'm California Blogger and today I'm doing a book review on the Marie Kondo book set. It's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up along with Spark Joy. So this is going to be like a book review and book summary, so if you don't like spoilers you might not want to watch it, but I think pretty much a lot of people have, or most people that are into home decor and home organizing have heard of Marie Kondo. I want to say it was like really big about, I'm not sure the exact year that this became really popular. I want to say it could have even been like about 10 years back. She's kind of been known about for a while. If you're not familiar, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up is a New York Times bestseller that basically is just a self-help book to help people organize their personal belongings more. It kind of borders on a minimalistic lifestyle, which is not really popular right now because people are really into maximalism and having collections and really beautiful, like just really a lot of sensory input decor is kind of in right now. Not that everybody decorates their house like that, but you're seeing more of that in like home decor magazines and things like Pinterest. So, but she's not really a complete minimalist. She's more into just keeping things that really matter to you. So as she says, like keep things that spark joy. And that's why her second book is just called Spark Joy. This book is basically a companion book to this. I read this book, I want to say the first time I read this book might have been like about 6 or 7 years back. I did start going through my own things. I started going through my own transformation of just kind of lifestyle. I don't feel that I ever really completed her method, but I did get rid of a lot of things. I have significantly less stuff than I used to. I also read like a lot of other minimalizing books, lifestyle, because I just wanted to downsize the amount of possessions I had. I started in a 1,600 square foot home and it was just full of stuff. It was, financially it wasn't good for me because a lot of my money was going towards keeping up a big home and having a bigger home. I downgraded to my current home, which is 650 square feet. So part of that downgrade process, because I knew I was going to be moving to a smaller space, was kind of like going through all my belongings and making decisions about like what's important to me and what I want and what I really don't want. Now, interestingly enough, and the first book talks about this, it goes really into depth about the emotional aspect and the emotional side of things that happen when you go through your own personal belongings. This might sound weird because it's just stuff. I hear a lot of people say like it's just things, like it's not that serious, it's not that big of a deal, like possessions don't mean anything. And it's like, I get what a lot of people are trying to say, like possessions don't mean anything, they don't matter, because it's like your experiences, your family, your loved ones, that's what really matters. Your things don't really matter. But the things that you own do say a lot about who you are because they're your personal lifestyle preferences. Like for instance, if you're like me and you like to paint and you find painting meditative, you're gonna go to my house, you're gonna see paints, you're gonna see paintbrushes, you're gonna see art supply. And to somebody else, like that doesn't mean anything, but to me, it is a lifestyle choice for me. It relaxes me. Art speaks to the core of who I am. So the possessions that I have are connected to the person that I am. So when you start going through your own personal belongings, you will find things, unless you're like very organized, you're gonna find things from years ago that, like, I don't know, it could be like an old boyfriend, an old girlfriend. Maybe you guys were into skiing and maybe you did that with them, but you don't really like skiing and you kept all this equipment because it was expensive, and you start going through your old stuff and you're like, this is not me anymore. Like, I need to release this. And a really interesting thing that happens when you release old possessions is you release old emotions. And not only that, you process what you have let go of, because a lot of times in life, we're done with a specific time, a specific place, specific people. We have not really come to terms with that yet. And when we live in our home full of all this stuff that is from our past that we haven't deciphered through or looked through yet, we have not processed and moved on completely. And I never really thought about that until I read this book. Now, the first book really gets into the psychological part of letting things go physically. How when you let physical possessions go and you sort through them, and what you find, what possessions spark joy, which ones mean something to you today and which ones don't. Because you can have a possession, you know, you could have like a collection of heartthrob magazines that you had when you were a teenager, and all the old celebrities you looked at that you loved and that meant something to you. Now you become an adult, you don't care about that anymore. So what means stuff to you today? Like, you don't want to be holding on to things, ideas, possessions that are of the past you. Everything in your home should make you happy today. And the way that things make you happy and spark joy, I mean, you could literally have a broken down bicycle and it sparks joy. She's not saying, like, if you don't use it, get rid of it. She's saying, does it make you happy? If it makes you happy, don't leave it in a storage. Put it on, you know, hang that bicycle up in the corner because it just makes you feel good. Whatever it is. Because when you sort through your personal possessions and you really sit down and be like, okay, what of this home is me and what's not, you will find that in your everyday life, it becomes easier to decipher what situations, what people, what places, what experiences are you and what's really not. Because what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of times in life, we are just kind of going through automatic. We're on automatic, I should say. And we're not really thinking about that. Sometimes we end up with people and places that we would not really be in had we really analyzed ourselves and what we actually want. We'll all probably have friends that it's like, you keep hanging out with them, or people in our lives that we keep spending time with. This woman's playing with the toy. If you guys hear that. And later we're like, the more we spend time with certain people, we don't feel good. Just something feels off. This is because it's not because that person's wrong. It's because the person's wrong for us, and they are not resonating with who we are today in our current reality. So if you're interested in more of the psychological aspect, which I recommend because it's very interesting to kind of dissect who we are as people and know ourselves better, because the better you know yourself, the easier and the better you are, the more able, I should say, you are to keep yourself happy and fulfilled. So the psychology behind it, and also exactly how to do her method, is in this book, if you want to dive into that deeper. If you only want to read about actual organization, this book. Or you can read them together, as I did. You get into the psychology about it. And honestly, when I finished this book, 7 or 8 years ago, whatever it was, I was kind of confused about some of the stuff she had said. One of the things she said in this book is like, just because your house is messy does not mean that you did not complete the process. Like, life goes on, things get messy, sometimes you don't put things away. You still completed the process. As long as everything has a place, and whenever life slows down, you can put everything away because it has a place. I did not know that. So a lot of times after I read this book, I thought, I failed. Is that I failed at her process. After I read this book, I was like, okay, I didn't completely fail. As of today, I am still in the process of organizing my own possessions. I mean, I've gotten rid of, like, to move into the smaller space, I've gotten rid of boxes and boxes. I got rid of so much stuff. I have managed to make my wardrobe, like, probably 1/10 of the size that it used to be. And you don't have to make it so small. Like, everybody's different what they want, but I just didn't. I like having a variety of clothes, but I don't want so many different clothes that I don't know what I have and I can't just think off the top of my head. I'm going somewhere. I just want to have like, you know, I'm going out to dinner. There's, I don't know, 7 or 8 different outfits that are for dinner. Which one do I want? I don't want to have like hundreds and hundreds of clothes anymore. I don't want to do that. So, and I will show you guys some parts of the inside of this book just to give you guys a better idea that this one is more descriptive part of the process. Okay, here you guys can see this is about like how to fold your clothes. Marie Kondo suggests folding clothes in a way where they stand up. So upon opening your drawer, you can see everything that's inside of your drawer at once. She doesn't suggest stacking things on top of each other, because then when you open your drawer, you're basically pulling everything out to see what you actually have. This is the part of the book where she talks about making a storage space, kind of like your personal little art gallery with like collectibles and art, and obviously your clothes and things that you may really love, but you just wouldn't want out on display in your house because it feels silly or doesn't match the decor you have going on. But you might have some possessions that you truly love to look at, but you just don't want them out in the open all the time. She suggests taking some of these like keepsakes and making kind of like a little art gallery with inside your closet. So when you open your closet, you see all these things that you love, and you can enjoy them that way. So that was pretty much it. That's the gist of these 2 books. I highly recommend them. I'm just kind of like, I just love home decor and everything that has to do with the home in general. I'm a person who loves exploration and learning about myself and bettering myself and just understanding who I am as a person better. I think everybody can benefit from doing that for themselves. So if you like to read or you like to work on yourself, I recommend these 2 books. Even if you don't like to read, you can try them anyways. And also, if you don't like to read, she has a lot of, I think, she has a whole show that she does that's in Japan, but I think it's an American show too. I'm not sure. I haven't watched the show, but and she has a lot of, like, there's a lot of YouTube information on Marie Kondo, and you can learn like a lot about her method just from watching YouTube videos if you don't want to actually read. I do recommend reading them together. I got so much the second time around that I just read this book recently. This one 7 years ago. I reread this book to do this YouTube video on the set, and then I read this directly afterwards, and I felt that this made such a big difference. These together are really good. But if you only want to focus on the technical side, just read this. If you're more interested in the psychology side, read this one. If you like to learn, and both have both in it, but this one's more on the technical side, this is more on the psychological side. But if you want to read about both subjects and you're interested, then read both of them together. This one first, this one second, I would recommend. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or you have any input, leave it in the comment section. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. Also, I'm thinking about doing a tour of my closet so I can share how I've implemented the Marie Kondo method into my own wardrobe. So if you guys want to see that, leave me a comment in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for coming along on one of my bookish journeys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.